What is up, my friends? This here is an RTX 3090, or at the very least, it's the box of an RTX 3090. If you actually want to see the RTX 3090 itself, it is currently installed in my PC here, and you can see it all lit up right next to my Noctua NH-D15 cooler. And yeah, this thing is basically, the long and short of it, the most powerful consumer grade graphics card in the world. Now, how I got this RTX 3090 is a story I think it is time for me to share with the world, because I don't think enough people, this is my thing. From my perspective, I got this on and installed it on launch day. I got it and installed it in my PC on launch day, and honestly, here's the thing, I don't honestly know that many people, like, in real life who are, like, really, like, enthusiastic about, like, cutting-edge gaming and stuff like that, like, or, like, really into, like, getting into high-end PC gaming. So I'm, like, as a person in my life, I'm mostly kind of alone in this. This is, like, my hobby for myself. And seeing the absolute debacle that has occurred because of these fucking graphics cards, to me, is kind of amazing. It's kind of fucking incredible to watch it all happen. And the best way I can say it is I just want to tell the story of how I got this graphics card. And you know what? Before I even get into the story, let me just explain to you guys. This is the best fucking thing I've ever bought in my fucking life. This fucking RTX 3090 right here is the best fucking purchase I've ever made in my goddamn life. I've never felt happier about anything I blew my fucking load on. Let me be quite clear about that. That's including fucking women, man. Like, bro, this shit is off the fucking charts, dude. Okay, basically, okay. So this graphics card, and let me just explain a few things. This MSI Gaming X Trio is an overclocked RTX 3090. It has 3 8-pin connectors, so it's not just 2 8-pin connectors or the 12-pin connector that NVIDIA's made now. It's 3 8-pin connectors, so it can go up to like 525 watts, okay? I got a 1200 watt PSU in that PC. Bros, the type of performance, like, I'm getting from this card, let me explain it to you. This kind of fucking graphics card, these Ampere cards, I would suggest to someone who already has a 4K high frame rate display, whether it's a television that you're going to connect to your PC for living room gaming, or whether it's a monitor that's 4K at a high refresh rate. If you just have a 4K 60 hertz monitor, you are not at the power level yet where you need an Ampere card. You are not at the point where you need an RTX 3080 or a 3090, at least in my opinion. And the reason I say that is because I'm now going to tell you what kind of performance metrics you can expect from this card. If you want, like, detailed breakdowns, there's other people who've done more detailed videos like that, but for me, gaming, like modern games, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Doom Eternal, bro, I'm hitting, like, basically 4K, like, 144 hertz on max settings is basically fucking possible. Like, me playing it on a 4K 120 hertz LG OLED TV, I'm getting 4K 120 hertz, 120 FPS, I should say, rock solidly in Doom Eternal, man. It's fucking sick. With, like, everything on Ultra Nightmare settings, it is kicking ass. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare, basically you're gonna get, like, 4K 120 FPS at least, like, easy. You're just gonna get that. And if you turn RTX on, RTX does not give as much of a hit to the performance as the Turing series. The Turing, rest in peace, the 20 series fucking cards. Yeah, it has much better ray tracing performance. With 4K and everything maxed out, I would say you hit around 70 to 80 FPS. So you can still rock solidly, with ray tracing and everything enabled, do 4K 60, most definitely. At least with this RTX 3090. And here's the thing, if you set the render res to like 1440p, or a little bit above 1440p, you could get it at like 144 FPS, 120 FPS easily, man. Quite easily, like around that ballpark. Me at least, I like to set it to a render resolution where I'm going to solidly get 120 FPS while I'm playing Call of Duty on this on this uh, on this PC right now. Because like, I want to tell you guys about my lap board. That like, I'm just going to show it real quick. You can see here on the sofa, maybe, or on the coffee table, I should say. I got a wireless lap board with a wireless mouse and wireless headphones, and I have a surround sound system. So what I'm saying is basically I have my PC hooked up to a home theater center. So if you can run that kind of setup with like a 4K 120 hertz display, I would say you're in the right position to buy yourself an RTX 3080 or a 3090. I'd say you're the type of person, if you're in that setup already, you're in the mode where you could get something like that and it would be worth it for you. I don't know if I could justifiably say this kind of graphics card is worth it if you just have a 4K 60 hertz display. In my mind, it's like, yeah, you would be able to solidly play games in 4K natively rendered at 60 FPS with RTX on and everything like full settings. You will be able to do that, but like to me, it's like DLSS can do some wacky things, man. DLSS, like I've heard people criticize the graphical quality of DLSS, but honestly, like using DLSS 2.0, at least in the games I've tried it, like Horizon and Wolfenstein Youngblood, I would say it's very impressive, man. It's very fucking impressive. It's like, dude, basically you're using AI to upscale in quality DLSS mode 1440p upscaled up to 4K. So that's a bit of a jump in terms of the amount of pixels on the screen of that, but like using the AI, honestly speaking, it creates a very similar image to like 4K natively rendered. And in some cases it almost looks like it could be better, but it might just be your mind playing tricks on you. DLSS 2.0 in these new Ampere cards works a lot goddamn better than you might expect. So pretty much using DLSS and 4K with a 120 hertz display, I think you would realistically, with this RTX Gaming X Trio 3090, I think I know I'm holding the box just to show the box. I'm trying to show you guys what it looks like. I'm not going to uninstall my GPU now just to show it to you guys, but I'll show you the box. Anyways, with DLSS enabled, I believe it's possible that basically it is possible. I've seen it run games like this at 4K 120 FPS with RTX enabled and DLSS quality mode. You can basically do that now. So you can pretty much run games at 4K 120 FPS almost. Like you're almost at 4K 120 FPS with ray tracing, I should say. Without ray tracing, you are at 4K 120 FPS with the RTX 3090 at least. Honestly, it's like the best fucking shit I've ever used in my life in terms of gaming. It's just bringing a level of realism and performance to these games now that I honestly never knew was gonna fucking happen. I mean, you knew it was gonna happen, but like to finally see it happen is like, man, the future is fucking here, man. I don't know what else to say about it. The performance and the I can't wait for Cyberpunk. I don't even like Watch Dogs. I'm going to play Watch Dogs Legion just because it uses the new technology in these Ampere cards. Halo Infinite, man. All the fucking 2021 games that are going to make use of all the Ampere technology, man. DLSS and the RTX. Oh, man. I can't wait for that shit, man. That shit's going to be a fucking awesome experience. 4K, 120 FPS DLSS with ray tracing. Or if you want, you could just set the render res to a little above 1440p, and it still looks pretty goddamn nice with the ray tracing running it at 120 FPS. It's fucking crazy. To me, honestly, what blows my mind is like I have a desk monitor that's 1440p, 144 hertz. What blows my friggin' mind is that I can get like just straight up natively rendered 1440p, 144 hertz with ray tracing on and like full ultra settings. It's like it's almost like I've reached a point in gaming now where I'm like, I don't think video games are supposed to look this good. Holy shit, man. Like, I can't believe video games look this good now. And okay, now we're going to get to the part where I'm going to explain how I got the RTX 3090. So, you might have noticed the Canadian flag above. I do live in Toronto, Canada, and basically what I did was I called all the Canada computers in my neighborhood like weeks before the 3090 came out to figure out when they were getting stock of the cards, which cards they were getting stock of. I heavily researched which card I wanted to get. I knew for sure I wanted to get one of these 3 8-pin cards because that's going to have that extra wattage that the card pulls for you to really get the most out of this card. I have a 1200 watt PSU, as I mentioned, so I figured I may as well use that wattage overhead to get the most out of my graphics card because I've already gone for like the fucking sky high build. And yeah, so I ended up figuring out that a Canada Computers in Brampton, Ontario was going to get 2 cards. I think one of them was Zotac and I think one of them was MSI Ventus. And basically, or it might have been Gigabyte, but yeah, pretty much they were getting 2 cards. Neither of them I wanted because neither of them had the 3 8-pin connectors. And instead, I asked about it, and they told me they were going to get the MSI Gaming X Trio, like within like either the day of launch or a couple days after. And they explained to me they have this system where you can back order the card, and as soon as the card arrives, they will call you. You can pick up your card within 3 days, and that's it. They're going to hold on to it to you. They're not going to sell it to anyone. They're not going to sell it amongst themselves or anything like that. It's just they're going to hold on to it for you. And all you have to really do is back order. And I really wish more people knew about this back ordering thing that some of these, I assume, some stores like Micro Center and so on in the United States would be doing as well. Canada Computers, at least, God bless these people. What I did was, and let me explain this full story. I decided that I was going to line up outside for a few hours to get a graphics card, to just increase the probability that I could place a back order first for this specific Gaming X Trio 3090. And I wanted to make sure that at least I'd have a probabilistically high chance of getting it soon, right? So I went there at midnight just to see what was good. I didn't expect anybody to be there. I didn't expect anybody to be there. This is a story, my friends. This is a story that has to be told. I went there at midnight, not expecting to see anybody. And as I drove my car past the Canada Computers, I saw a single chair with like some blankets and stuff. This is a midnight. This Canada Computers opens at 10 a.m. in the morning, so there's at least 10 hours to go before this store opens. I see this guy there, going to the chair with blankets and pillows, and I say to this guy, yo, bro, are you getting the 3090? And this guy just looked at me and he's like, yeah, bro. And this guy gave me one of the weirdest fucking stories I've ever heard. This guy told me he was going to buy a 3090 because he bought a 2080 Ti a month ago and just sold it. Excuse me? Like, this guy, like, I'm sorry, dude. If you bought a 2080 Ti in August, bro, you didn't look up anything talking about new graphics cards. You didn't look up anything about, like, Ampere rumors. You didn't look up anything about maybe now is not the right time to buy a graphics card since they're going to release a new fucking line of graphics card very soon. What the fuck, dude? Like, I completely lost sympathy for this guy at this point. I'm like, dude, you didn't do any fucking research at all. Like, you really didn't know what the fuck you were doing. If this is the story, you're going to come and tell me now. Bros, this guy told me his plan, he sold a 2080 Ti that he probably bought for like $1,300. And he sold it for like $500, $600 or something, right? Total blunder move. This guy told me now, and keep this in mind, this guy kept saying to me over and over again, bro, I'm not a scalper, man. He kept telling me this. And then he tells me his plan is now to buy a 3090, then resell it to quote unquote get some of his money back, and then buy himself a 3080. So I'm listening to this guy's story, trying my best not to laugh in his fucking face. And I'm just like, yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be back in like a bit. So I went home, took a nap, and then around 6 or 30 or so, I ended up getting up and going to Canada Computers. I end up there at 7:30 in the morning, and I see there are two people now lined up behind the guy. Just two people. So this guy got number one spot in the line just to be ahead of like two people. And I asked, and I lined up, and another guy lined up around that time as well. And basically, I asked the guys, so was there any particular model of the card that you wanted? This young kid told me he wanted any card he could get. The guy in the front of the line again said he wanted any card he could get. And these two guys beside me in line both said they only wanted to pre-order the Asus ROG Strix version of the 3090 and had no interest in any other version of the card. Okay, fair enough. You know what you want. You're going to get what you want. Cool, I understand. Me, I knew that they were getting this shipment of the Gaming X Trio MSI one. I was looking at reviews of it. It was reviewed fairly well. So I just decided this was a one for me. I knew it was going to have three 8-pin connectors, and it wasn't priced as high as the ROG Strix edition, which I know it's generally the ROG Strix brand has a big reputation. It's kind of part of the reason, and it also has like very heavy metallic parts in that version of the card, which probably does increase the version of the price. I think the MSI one, I think it's actually pretty dope what they did. Like, if you can't see it pictured here, but on the back of this is actually graphite backing with some ventilation. It actually ventilates the heat, I think, very well. Looking at it, it's very quiet. Honestly, I'm pretty good with the MSI Gaming X Trio version of the 3090. And yeah, so basically I knew that I was going to be the only person in this line who was going to pre-order the Gaming X Trio MSI RTX 3090. So when the store opened up finally at 10 a.m., we all went in. The two guys got their cards that the store had. The other two guys pre-ordered the Asus ROG Strix version, or back-ordered it, or got themselves first in line to back-order it, I should say, the Asus ROG Strix version. So I hope those guys have their cards by now. If not, they'll probably get them soon, because as soon as they arrive at the store, they'll be the first ones to get it. And me, I put in my back order for the Gaming X Trio one, and that was that. Walked out of the store. A couple hours later, they called me to say they got the card. And then I ended up going there, grabbing this MSI Gaming X Trio 3090, and I installed it and started playing around with it. And honestly, man, all I can say is I hope that guy who was first in line gets fucked over, man. Because, like, I don't know, dude. This guy's story was so dumb. I had no sympathy for him. You did no research, my guy. And you're expecting people to now sympathize. Oh, man. And the worst part was I read this Kijiji ad that this guy put up. And I read the ad, and I was 100% certain that it had to be the guy who I had met in the line. And his ad explaining why he was selling a graphics card he bought for probably maybe 2,300, 2,400 Canadian dollars, explaining why he bought this card and was now selling it for $3,000, said, "Please understand the struggle that went through to obtain this card." And it even explained how he got tricked by the 2080 Ti. Absolutely terrible Kijiji ad. I hope nobody fucking bought his goddamn graphics card, man. All I can say is, guys, I'm very happy that I bought an RTX 3090. And watching this debacle that has unfolded with NVIDIA not being able to, in any meaningful capacity, meet the demand that these cards have generated. Like, dude, basically what's going to happen is that Cyberpunk is going to come out, like Watch Dogs is going to come out, and basically me and a handful of other people are actually going to be able to make use of those new features that are in the Ampere cards that these games even are advertised at least as taken advantage of. That's friggin' hilarious, man. And honestly, I can just say that I'm one of the lucky ones. I put the work in to get the card. I didn't do something stupid like buy a 2080 Ti the month before. I just planned very strategically what I was going to do. And yeah, like, now I have an RTX 3090. I'm very satisfied. All I can tell you guys is You may not be the type of person who wants an RTX 3090. I want like the top shelf. I want the best possible performance. Every single frame counts to me. For the vast majority of people, I think they will be more than happy with a 3080, or for those people who don't care that much about like high frame rates and so on, they'll be more than happy with a 3070 or a lower end card. All I can say is Ampere is a technological breakthrough, and I just really wish that more people got to experience it the way I've experienced it, so I can get that feeling of being able to share this fucking excitement and happiness. Like, guys, I'm so friggin' pumped and energized now to come home and play video games, because I'm running games at a level of quality that no one else can even really fucking do anymore. No one, very few people have been able to acquire one of these cards. Very few people were able to acquire the 3080. And honestly, man, I just wish more people could experience this and experience the fucking thrill that I'm getting out of now being able to play games on an Ampere card, and being able to experience that full, like, cutting edge technology in gaming that we've now gotten to. I just so wish more people were able to experience it. And anyways, if you've made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for hanging in there. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks for enjoying my story. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe if you want more gaming and tech videos or entertainment news stuff. I like to cover that kind of stuff. And anyways, thank you for watching, guys, and take care out there. And I hope that you guys that do want an Ampere card will be able to get your card very soon. I'm sorry to say that it probably won't be that way. It probably won't be till 2021 for a lot of people. But I do wish you guys the best of luck. If you are near a computer store that has back ordering, take advantage of the back ordering system. Use a back ordering site. You will eventually get the card, and you'll get it as soon as you possibly could get it. When you really think about it, it just makes sense to back order it. I think that's the most reasonable thing to do. If you want one of these cards, you might have to wait for quite a bit, unfortunately. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my story. And Ampere, it kicks ass, man. That's all I gotta say. Mike Muhammad out. Take care, guys.